Hello everybody, Team Tech here, back at it again with another Satellarknight deck profile video for you guys. And as usual, we're going to have test hands after we finish the profile. So without any further ado, let's get started. So for the usual, you play your triple Altair. I don't believe this needs any explanation at this point. Basically, call it the Haunted for your entire monster, lineup. And triple Deneb, I don't think I need to explain any of these. Triple Yuka basically, fix this real quick. So basically, to summarize this, Call of the Haunted, Rhoda, Call of the Haunted, Stratos, Foolish Burial. There you go. That's what these three are. You gotta run them. And then you run your one Vega, because Vega is just so important when it comes to being able to do, you bring, use Triggers effect, bring back Vega, you have Altair in your hand, you go Vega, Altair, Deneb when this guy dies, so makes your life easier. And then for the other monster, we run one Satellarknight Aslam, because I'm still running the Ties of the Breathiven Engines deck. And I figure I put him in because I could do 1,000 burn if I do so. So if I were to do that, sometimes this can come in clutch, because a lot of people are going to be running a Pointer of the Red Lotus, Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning, Cosmic Cyclone. Need I go on about all the life point cards that are being made of use of out there right now? Like literally, so many life point cards have such high costs that you shouldn't be paying for out there right now. And as you're out resourcing your opponent with this deck, you're going to be grinding to the teeth to kill their life points. And this guy could just be the finishing play. Like, call the Hunter Jr. opponent's turn, bring this nigga out, and he just does freaking 1,000 burn. It's just broken. And then moving on to the spells, you play triple Card Demise. Card Demise is just so broken in the deck. You have to run 3 Card Demise for now until it gets hit to 2, because when it gets hit to 2, a certain card in here is going to be bumped to 3. And that is not Power Duality. I will always play 2 Duality in the deck. I tried 3 and it bricks so bad. You never play 3 Duality in the deck. You want to play 3 Duality and Barrier Statue Stun when Demise gets hit. And now the card that I want to put back to 3 if Demise ever gets hit down to 2 is Ties of the Breathiven. I decided to bunk it down to 2 because this and this were interfering too much. These two right here, this and this, were interfering way too much. Because I would use Demise while I have Breathiven in my hand, and I could only resolve one or the other. I mean, you can't resolve them both. So, it just wasn't really working out, but now that I bunked it down to 2, it works so much more better now. And I kind of consider Ties of the Breathiven now as 2 more copies of Rhoda, since Ties of the Breathiven is all about helping you, as the Satellarknight player, set up your board with Rhoda. So that's always very helpful. And now for some tech cards I'm running in the spell lineup. I'm running that one Raigeki. I mean, I don't think Raigeki needs to be explained. Very powerful card, you gotta run it. I gotta find my super rare Raigeki. I just can't find it. It's the only reason I'm using this fucking rare Raigeki to profile this right now. And then I run double Forbidden Chalice. I do not have 2 ultimate rares. This one I pulled out of a pack, surprisingly. And I think you only need 2 Chalice anyway. And then a new tech card that I've known about for a while, but I didn't think had any real use in this deck. Double Pianissimo. That's right, not 3, because 3 could brick you. But 2 is just right, since you could Demise and you could draw into any of these 5 cards. And these are all insanely good techs that can help you deal with Zodiac right now. Pianissimo to help you, hold on, let me give you an example with my extra deck use. Go into Batamaeus, right? And then you can Pianissimo your Batamaeus. And when because your opponent's going to try to Trident this. They're not going to let you go into this and then they're going to Trident this. That will be entirely fucking pointless. Because he'll still get his effect to wipe the whole field back into this fucking Stone Age. And he'll be able to touch the graveyard and get his ability to bring your Tellarknights back out in the field. So you can use Pianissimo on Batamaeus. And I'm going to show you another use that it has in the deck. With something that I still play. Remember Utopia? As you're going into lightning, as a matter of fact, exactly when you go into lightning, your opponent will use Trident to try to pop lightning. You can use Pianissimo, bring him down to 100, and then when he swings, he becomes 5,000 automatically. That's insane. I mean, that's just insane. Let me move everything so you guys can see everything at a fair angle. Like, I'm going to repeat it again because not everything was in a good angle. So, one more time, guys. Pianissimo on lightning when they try to dragon him. And then when you attack with lightning, detach 2, 5,000, game. I love doing that. I get away with doing that so many times because there are just so few people that expect this card as a tech. And it's not very easy to work around unless if you have certain cards in your deck at a certain time. Like, your ceiling has to be pretty high for you to stop this. And most Zoo players are just going to be about the old school Dryden plus Mrs. Radiant play now. If you run any pure Zoo players, this just kills them. I mean, they're not going to be able to work... Sorry. They're not going to be able to work around these 5 cards. I guarantee you, pure Zoo cannot do it. And you'll be able to use these cards in order to stop pure Zoo decks that may pop up at your locals. And that's something you definitely still have to prepare for because, I mean, like I've said, pure Zoo is still going to be running around anywhere from 10 to 15% over the meta. That's why it's something you have to be prepared for. And now moving on in the traps, we have our 1 Solemn Warning. This is your 1 card out to Masterpiece, even though we have more. Then you have your triple Stellarknight Alpha. Again, I'm going to explain this concept again. Tribute Trigger off your extra monster zone. Clear your extra monster zone. Get Trigger Effect Engrave. Get Negation. Draw a card. Plus off like crazy. And same idea with Horn of Heaven, which we're playing 2 of now. In my last build, I played 3, but I realized that I needed to bump this down to 2 because 3 was starting to brick me way too much. Like, it was becoming a very inconsistent card at that point. But again, same concept. Horn of Heaven, Tribute Trigger, Negate a Summon, Destroy the Summon, Trigger Effect in Graveyard, Special Altair, Special Deneb, Get a Search, plus off from there. Same idea. And then for the last 3 counter traps that we run in the deck, I run triple Dark Bribe. And I'm going to explain this very thoroughly. Let me bring this over for you guys. So, 9 counter traps. And again, Dark Bribe is one of those cards that just can't fail you right now in the format. Because this card can hit Dragonic Diagram, Fossil Dig, Zodiac Barrage when it's on the field getting its effect. It can hit That Grass Looks Greener. It can hit so many different cards. Left Arm Offering too. It can hit. And again, this card can also hit cards like Solemn Strike, which are going to be still going to be played this format, and can honestly cancel out your trigger effect, which is something you don't want to happen. So that's why I play Triple Bribe in my version of the deck. I just feel Strike to be unnecessary right now in the deck. That's why I'm not playing it. But if I had an option, I'd say I wait to the balance to see if Strike's going to hit so I won't waste money on it. So if Strike gets semi-limit, it's going to go down in value. I'll run like, fucking 1 or 2 copies of it. I wouldn't even play 3. I would go like 2 Strike, 1 Warning, and that would probably be it. Or maybe even 1 Strike and 1 Warning. That would be the most I'm willing to do for that. And then for some other spicy tech, we play Double Mind Crush. And I'm going to again explain my logic between this and the Pointer of the Red Lotus. A Pointer of the Red Lotus is a fucking solemn cost. It has the same value, not value, the same price as a Solemn Warning. Double of a Cosmic Cyclone. And 500 more than that of a Solemn Strike. Why would you play a Pointer of the Red Lotus when, if you have skill, you can make the most use of Mind Crush in the deck? My older versions of the deck, back before I got into Yugi tubing, I played 3, but I bumped it down to 2 for consistency reasons. And again, this is a card that requires skillful interaction, but if you do not have skillful interaction, you will not be able to make use of this card. You will not get out of jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect the 200. And then last but not least, the last trap cards and the last cards in the deck is Triple Call of the Haunted and Double Waste of Dragon Souls. And as I've explained, I am not playing back to the front because I want to be able to get my continuous trap cards back to my hand with Triver's effect. That's what I want to do. That's my style of playing the deck. If you want to put back to the front in your version of the deck, you put it in your version of the deck. You can build out your deck how you want it, but while I'm playing my way of the deck, this is how I want to run it. Because I like these 5 cards the way they are. I don't care for that trap card in the deck because it's not a continuous trap. If it was a continuous trap, I would love it. I would play that over Oasis any day, but it's not a continuous trap. Thus, I have to run the 5 continuous traps for Triver's effect in order to recur them. And as I've proven, I got 4th place at my locals. A true Draco of locals where literally everybody, aside from a few rogue players, is running True Draco. They're not running anything else. They refuse to run Dinos, they refuse to run Zoo, they refuse to run anything else aside from True Draco, whether it's True Draco Zoo, True Draco Demise, True Draco Windwitch Invoked, whether any True Draco variant, you're going to see True Dracos at my locals all the fucking time. No matter what. Doesn't matter what until the ban list comes around, you're seeing True Dracos at my locals, which makes it so hard to deal with over there. And now into the extra deck. And again, guys, before I get onto my extra deck, if you think that I'm gloating with my 4th place record at my locals, with 75-man locals with Satellarknight, it really isn't bragging because, I mean, as a matter of fact, I do deserve to brag because I took a deck that literally hasn't seen competitive play since the late 2015, maybe early 2016 era. I took it and I got a top with it. So I feel proud of myself. But anyways, Triple Trevor. This card is an absolute beast. He is an absolute staple. I play him at 3. You can play him at 2. But the reason I play him at 3 is because I get mental anxiety and OCD when I don't see 3 of him in the deck. And I just love running 3. Along with 3 of this guy. This guy, the reason you have to run cards like Bribe, Pianissimo, Raigeki, Forbidden Chalice, because Dryden is still going to be a thing in this format, and Batameas can simply just get popped. You don't even have to strike his fucking effect, or to summon a trigger. You could just pop him with a Dryden, and you don't want that happening. I'm sorry, that's the pure facts. Facts here. And then, Double Deltros. Because I normally don't go into Double Deltros, but since we're not playing the Artifact Engine here, we can increase our ceiling on the Satellarknights that we play in the deck. And the 1 Constellar Diamond, of course, because this guy just says eat my ass to any 60 card deck, or any deck that relies on milling, period. Well, time for the second part of the extra deck. Alright, so now we have our 1 Dweller, our 1 Diamond Dyer. These are some generic staples that you play. Number 86, and like I was just talking about earlier, our Utopia Engine. Again, I am not running back to the front because it is not a continuous trap card. Criticize me all you want on my deck profile, I'm just simply going to ignore it. I really don't care anymore. But anyways, I'm not going to get too much into that. Without any further ado, let's touch upon my side deck choices. Now, for my side deck, I run hand traps, even though I'm running Demise. And you might think I'm retarded for this. Triple Draw and Lockbird, the 1 Maxi, double Ghost Ogre, triple Twin Twisters. Because in my locals, my True Draco players have a huge habit of throwing in random tech cards like Skill Drain, Monarch's Erupt, and 1 even teched in Dimensional Fissure in there before. And it was frustrating because these are like all these spicy techs I normally don't see True Draco run. It was a mental migraine run for me, and I was already showing an attitude towards the end of that duel. And that was in the top 4 where I lost. So I don't want to get hit with those cards ever again. So I'm playing Triple Twin Twisters. I don't care what anybody says about my list. If you don't like it, put in Triple Cosmic Cyclone, and you're going to see that it fails every time. And then I decided to side the Triple Storming this time instead of maining it. Because it just seems like one of those cards that's better in the side. Because in some matchups, it's detrimental in your favor. But in some matchups, it's not that good to your favor. Like against Draco, for instance. Like, against my Phantasm Spiral friend I played against my locals, this card was a game changer for me. And if I didn't have the Storming, I would have lost. And then I play double anti-spell along with Imperial Warrior. This should be stable at this point. Because in my locals, there was also a Blue Eyes player. And I did something fucked up with anti-spell fragrance I'm about to show you guys in a minute here. Alright, so every time I summon Trigger, this card and all of their back row goes back to hand, right? You can simply just set anti-spell face down, chain this again on their standby. If they can't respond with like an MST or like a Silver's Cry in order to bring back Dragon Spirit of White, they're basically fucked. Because you're going to be able to keep looping these two in a matter where your opponent won't be able to play spell cards, period. Like, they're done. And Imperial Order just locked out my Blue Eyes opponent at my locals last time. I mean, he just scooped it out eventually. And he was pissed. So, yeah, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my side deck. I'm going to be doing some live test hands now. Alright, so I was just shuffling it up a little bit. So now I'm going to finish shuffling it up on live camera. Let's cut. Well, good luck, and let's see how we do. Chalice is looking good. Alter is nah. Call. Alpha, okay, we're getting somewhere. And Deneb. Okay, this is actually not a bad hand, because here's what you can do. You can simply summon Deneb, right? Use Deneb. Search Vega for next turn. Take these 3. Set them down. And watch your opponent cry. Because the moment they use a card effect, any card at all, you can Alpha, Deneb. You draw whatever. What you draw? Oh, no, Charles, that's actually not bad. And you'll have Vega, Altair, Deneb for next turn. No matter what happens, their whole hand's getting bounced. Like, it's confirmed. Like, it's confirmed, Fanon. I mean, seriously. And this is live, people. I'll be back with test hand number 2. Alright, so now we're going to shuffle this pile of cards up yet again. And again, I'm just tired of all the True Draco tech cards that the deck can fucking run. The deck literally runs too many techs. It's too good. Really is, yo. Alright, let's cut yet again. Let's see what we get. Bribe? Ooh, that's nice. Ties of the Brethren, that could be extensful. Bribe? Unquestionable Satellarknight. Ah! Damn it! Bricks! It's the price you pay for playing Rogue. Yo, man, you just got a brick sometimes. I mean, when in theory, this isn't a brick hand because you have bribes, you have alphas, mind crush. You can hold yourself out a little bit. But when truth comes to tell, let's see how long it was away from Satellarknight. Oh, man, that was such a brick hand. That wasn't even worked. That was so bad right there. And now we're going to cut yet again. Let's see how we do. Duality is looking sexy. Vanquish, Jukai, Horn of Heaven, and ooh, Ties of the Brethren. Interesting. So now we have 2 interesting routes. One of the routes I like to avoid. We can go Ties of the Brethren or Duality. In this case, I personally would rather go Ties of the Brethren right now. Yukahai is effect. You're gonna mill. Oh no, you can mill Vega. Pay 2,000 with ties on Yukahai, and you'll be able to bring out Deneb and Aslam. Deneb effect, chain link 1, Aslam's effect, chain link 2. You're going to use him to burn for 1,000. Deneb, search your altar. And even though I have a duality in my hand, I just like to set it down anyway. Me personally. And you can go set 3 and just pass. And your opponent will probably think that card will be something worth popping, because I had people pop the dead duality before with a Cosmic Cyclone and they would get banished and people get salty over that. I've done that before when I'm in a situation where duality next turn would be bad. So I could protect these other 2 cards. But yeah, that's a pretty good test hand, to be honest. Alright guys, I'm back with a 4th test hand. I've decided to do one more after this, so you guys will get to see that. Rhoda, that's good automatically. Rhoda, Hydrali, Aslam, Bribe, Edge House. I shouldn't need to explain why this is a good hand, but I'll play it out anyway. Rhoda, search. Actually, what I like to do, just in case, because what I've seen Trickstar players do is wait for you to search before they burn out their resources. So what I like to do is set some cards down first. And you can set duality down too, because technically duality is still a normal spell card you could play. Even though you won't be able to play it that turn, but you can still play it. You get Rose effect to search. Whoops. Oh my god, imagine you could search Ties of the Brethren, that'd be insane. You search Deneb effect. Search Altair. I always search for that Altair. And this is how you end up. Deneb plus 3 back row. And yeah, and also on this video, guys, let me move that a little bit more over for you guys, so you guys will be able to see everything. Oh, hold on. I know what I can do. There you go. That's a little better. We'll just have to move things a little closer. There you go. But yeah, guys, before this video ends, I'm going to be showing you how to play this deck against certain matchups. Something new that I've decided to do. And so now, we're going to go on to the 5th and last test hand of the day. We're shuffling. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Don't stop. Cut that up. Cut that there. Cut. And now we get to proceed. Ryeki, that's good. Altair, Nay, Brian, Aslam, and Duality. I say this hand is Nay. I'll play this hand out as if I was going second. Okay, now that's cool. So here's what we can do. We can use Raigeki on our opponent at that point. And then we can summon Aslam, do 1,000 burn. Use Ties of the Brethren in order to bring out Deneb and where is he? Yukahai, and you could just take it from there. I want to get into the other portion of the video now. So I'll be right back when I have that set up. Alright, we're back, and this is not a test hand portion segment of the video, but now I'm going to be showing you how to play with random hands. And these are one of these hands that you can simply see out of nowhere. I've seen these types of hands before in real life testing, and even in testing in this video perhaps. But now I want to show you guys how to play test a simple hand like this against all the different types of top tier decks out there. And for all of these hands, we're going to play test going second, because sometimes you're going to have to go second in order to go up. And because your opponent is going to make you go second after game 1. And I've seen some players make the mistake of letting this deck go first still, even though it's a Talonite deck and they could make trivia and bounce your board back, but it's a very big mistake to let this deck go first. Because you'll still be able to set up your back row. I mean, Deneb plus Rhoda equals trivia right there. Because, yeah, and I'll probably get more on that in the video, but anyways, let's continue. So, here's how I will playtest this hand. Let's say you're going against a deck like Zodiac. We'll start with the most simplest one, pure Zodiac. So here's what you'll be able to do. You'll be able to obviously use your Rhoda search. Unless if it gets Ash Blossomed, then which people are running, so you have to be wary of. You're probably gonna go through with it, and you'll be able to bring up Vega, Deneb. And now you'll be able to normal summon Vega, which will allow you to special summon Deneb from your hand. And Deneb will allow you to search for Altair, which is what I would search for in this situation. Here's what you can do. You can take these, you're obviously going to take these two and overlay them into that sexy extra monster zone right there. Yep. Bring the camera up a little. And from your extra deck, you're going to go into Batameus. You bring my extra deck right here to the side with me. You're going to make Batameus. And then you're going to detach Vega, discharge Deneb, discard Altair, and then your opponent's going to chain, and you would bring out Trigger, but your opponent is going to change right. Oh no, he dies, so it fizzles out. No, it doesn't, because Pianissimo is here to save the day. And a card like Zodiac Dryden is one of those cards that will have to destroy him. And if it fails, you'll be able to make Trigger. Trigger saves the day. The entire zoo board gets bounced, and they're basically fucked. Because now, take a look at this hand. You have Chalice, and you have Dark Bride. Cards that you're gonna set both of them down. You're gonna detach your Vega. Picture another random card out of your opponent's hand, thus decreasing their ceiling and increasing yours even further, and pitch directly for 2,100. And I mean, in this type of situation, the zoo player doesn't have much options. Considering that cards like Shuffle Reborn and Barrage get negated by Bribe at that point. And I mean, even if they manage to make it past your defenses, what are they going to do against Trigger? Pop him? What? For him to bring out more Talonites? Please. Alright guys, we're back with the same exact hand, and I want to show how this does. I mean, not how it will go, but how it will go against Trickstars. How I will play out a hand like this first is what I usually do, because most Trickstar players will just have one reincarnation down, and they'll usually wait for you to do the search for them before they go on. So here's what I would do with a hand like this. I would start setting cards down first. Just set, and Rhoda, if they don't have to draw a Lockbird, you can still use Rhoda. There's no shame in setting Rhoda down. Remember that, guys. Don't be ashamed to do random things that most people don't follow, because that's how a deck like Hands Artifact Trap Tricks managed to go second place in Worlds back in 2014. And then you can normal summon your Deneb. You'll be able to use Deneb's effect to... In this situation, I would search... what would I search? Yukahai. Oh, yeah, I'll search Yukahai. As try to like be the bait out of the day. And at that point, there was... And probably at this point, you could search Altair too. That's technically an option. Because if they have Draw and Lockbird, they're probably not going to use it considering how much back row you have at that point. But yeah, this is a very easy way for you to beat Trickstar. I mean, if they open double reincarnations, just bad luck for you for that day. I mean, too bad for you. They got the Drone Lockbird combo. They deserve to win because it's only so often that they open up that combo. I believe I did a video. I did do a video about how bad Trickstar really is and how inconsistent the Drone Lockbird FTK truly is. If they manage to resolve it, they deserve to win. It's not very consistent at all. But Again, this is the best way you can play around that. Just start setting your cards. One at a time. Set them motherfuckers down. Start setting them shits down. And if the drone locker goes off and you banish your only you guy, well, hey, you don't care. Because guess what? You got more back row. You have Chalice to stop more Trickstar effects from going off. You got Bribe for when they activate another reincarnation on your ass. Or whenever they try to use another Trickstar Light stage. You got Pianissimo for here for whatever. You have Rhoda so you can search next turn. What you draw next turn? Pianissimo. Not bad. You can simply put the Neb into defense mode. Use Pianissimo in order to stall it out. If your opponent decides to try to do the OTK with Trick Stars where they start using reincarnations to bring Trick Stars back from the graveyard and just try to push for a minimal amount of damage that they do, combined with the burn to finish you off quick before you pick up the pace again. So, okay. So that works. And now we're back with the same test hand against True King Dinos. Here's how the type of approach I would take with this one. This hand I want to play test going first because Jane Dinos have extreme advantage going first. Right? So you'll be able to do this. Set your Chalice, set your Bribe, and set your Pianissimo first. As usual. And then you have Rhoda and the Deb. You'll be able to resolve Rhoda, search Vega. So we're going to showcase you guys that right now. Search Vega. You'll be able to summon Vega, special Deneb effect, search Altair. Shuffle them cards up. And then you'll be able to take these two niggas and just overlay for the one card they can't beat. Dweller against Dinos this game. Doesn't matter what they have. You have Chalice, so you can stop their Soul Eating Overraptor. You can protect your Dweller from, And actually, in this scenario, I just put Dweller in defense, so I won't take any heavy battle damage. In this scenario, you could use Bribe to negate Dragonic Diagram. Use Chalice to stop Soul Eating Overraptor. Use Pianissimo to give a Dweller from protection from a random Soul Eating Overraptor trying to attack over him. So you'll be able to guarantee yourself longer protection. And what will you draw next turn? Bribe, that's cool. Negate some shit. At that point, you can just detach Janeb to lock them out. And as a matter of fact, you can actually let them continue and use Dragonic Diagram and start resolving the babies. Because you can chain the Abyss Dweller and that will cause them to fizzle out and not work. And at that point, you could just start going in with random everyday Tellarknight OTK. And start shading out all of your Tellarknights and going with all of them and Dweller for game. And it gets as simple as that when playing this deck. And now to wrap up this video, I cannot put together or produce a specific test hand for True Draco because of all the fucking variants out there that exist for this stupid deck. There are too many variants out there with the deck to prepare for the one exact variant unless if you know which specific variant you're going against. So all I have to tell you is make sure you can out-resource and overpower the True Draco player. By out-resourcing them with cards like, no, technically that could work too, hold on. You want to try to get Dweller or Trigger rolling. You want to try to get one of these two cards rolling. Because Trigger, you'll be able to out-resource them, and Dweller, you'll be able to stop their spells and traps from ever going off in the graveyard. And the True Draco Zoo version won't be able to resolve the Ram, or the invoked version of the deck won't be able to use Invocation in order to recur Invocation back in deck and Alistair and the Invoker back to hand. Thus, making it a pretty solid matchup against True Draco. Well, this is it. Team Molotech is going to be signing out now. Overall, after I finish this video, I say that I have to give it a 9 out of 10, the whole deck. Because it can handle the majority of decks pretty well because of this guy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Team Molotech signing out. Have a good night. Let me know what you thought of this deck profile. Like I said, have a great night. Be creative, be innovative. Peace.